I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sun.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Brian, and today is Thursday, May 16th, 2024, and this is episode 699 of the Lots Project podcast, and it's titled, Here We Go. I'll be chatting about our latest snail development, a meaningful order that I placed, and what's up with these Tennessee businesses. Got a couple questions about that. First, let's check out in the live chat, see who's hanging out in the coffee crew, grab a cup, and hang out for an hour or so. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Saw a very, very, very early, barely today comment on the stream when I popped on this morning. Mona T, I think that might be actually, hold on one second, guys. I think something got on the camera. Interesting. Mona T, I think that might be Mona T from the Telegram group, not in the US for sure. Dropping in 1234. If it isn't you, Mona from the Telegram group, and it just happens to be another random Mona stopping by and saying good morning. Well, good morning to you also. Pip, good morning, humans. Eggs are ready. Cool. Oh, you ruined the surprise. Jim says, good morning, on the road early again this morning. Congrats on the eggs. Enough for an omelet yet? We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about it in a minute. Pip says, was there a niner in there? Yeah, buddy, there was 2 niners in there. Coming up on 700 tomorrow. I still don't know what I want to do for episode 700. I'm still up in the air if TikTok fodder from the week is enough for an episode. I don't know. I've been thinking about all sorts of other stuff. I got a little bit going on other than the show, so bear with me as we figure it out. Good morning, Pickle Pete. Scrappy Do 2. 700 Club. Should I do an episode of the 700 Club? I remember Sunday mornings when there was no TV other than the 700 Club and similar shows on, and yeah, really wasn't my deal. Outside to play at that point. Good morning, Rachel. How's it going? Pickle Pete likes the 700 Club idea. I don't even know. Is that still a thing? Is that still around? Who was the 700 Club? Who was that? Was that Graham? Billy Graham? No, Billy Graham was the wrestler. I don't know. I can't remember. It was so long ago. Pete wants me to preach it. It could be interesting. Pat Robertson. That's right. Pat Robertson was the 700 Club. Wasn't there a Graham too? Was it Billy Graham? I know Billy Graham was a wrestler. He had the funky goatee with like had the bleach blonde with the black in the goatee. That was Billy Graham, the wrestler, but I'm pretty sure there was a Billy Graham, the preacher too. Could be wrong. I'm not up to date. I'm not a whole history guy on my preacher history, so yeah. Billy Graham was different. He did stadiums full of people. Oh, so he was the old school Joel Osteen and the Crystal Cathedral. Oh no, yeah. Who had the Crystal Cathedral? I gotta do some televangelist research for sure. And then there was always Benny Hinn. Benny Hinn was my favorite. I was actually kind of a fan of when Benny Hinn would be on TV. And if you don't know who Benny Hinn is, do yourself a favor and YouTube it. What's in the cup today? What is in the cup today? Got another awesome cup of GSD blend. I'm glad I have it in the cup today because I got to go out and do some more clearing today. I got to go out and do some more clearing. I got to go. I got to. I got to film some content. I got to go exploring. I got to do a bunch of stuff. I have a busy day. I need to get shit done. So get shit done blend, GSD blend in my cup is the perfect thing. It is a very light roast, very highly caffeinated, but not so highly caffeinated. You're going to end up with the jitters, the shakes, or the big old caffeine crash. Just smooth and steady wins the race, and it's going to wake you up, pop your eyes open, and taste great doing it. Find it at foodforestfarms.com, foodforestfarms.com, lots 5% off, always 5% off with lots 5, everything at the Food Forest Farms website, always free shipping. And if you're a first-time customer and you want to test it out because you just like, I don't know if it's really good enough. I don't know if it's good enough to be better than my Folgers. Oh, I drink Maxwell House. I've drank that since I was a kid. Well, you know what? I've done a lot of things since I was a kid that just didn't really make sense either. So pick up some air roasted, small batch, micro batch, premium air roasted coffee from Food Forest Farms and take an extra 5% off. Use lots 10, get you 10% off to give it a try. Stuff's awesome. I'm so excited. My C4 package will be here today with all my coffee for the month, and I can't wait to see what Brian sent out. Always a good day when I get to open my C4 package. Check it out, foodforestfarms.com. Mike's Homestead said Robert Harold Schuler was is that the Crystal Cathedral guy? I don't know. Rewilder Life says no, Joel is way different in my opinion, but that's a long discussion. You can't group all these people in the same categories. Well, you may not be able to group them all into the same category, but I sure as hell can. Mike says yes. Okay, Robert Harold Schuler was the Crystal Cathedral. Rewilder Life says I just took a Sudafed, gonna be jittery mess, but maybe my face will unstuff. Oh yeah, I had that a few weeks ago here. The first pollen pop, and I was like, bam, I gotta take something. So I took some I had to take something, so I took some Sudafed at one point. Sudafed? Benadryl. I took Benadryl. We don't have Sudafed, do we, Corey? Yeah, I took Benadryl. It antihistamine. Did I tell you guys about when we were at the vet? I don't know if I told you about the antihistamines at the vet. Like a long time ago when we took Norman. I had to have mentioned it. Maybe I didn't. It's worth another tell. First of all, Pickle Pete says, doesn't Joel Osteen have a jet and a jet chopper because God demanded it? I'm pretty sure they all pretty much tell you that God demands that you give them money so that they can do God's work from a jet plane and a jet chopper, whatever they have. I don't know. I try not to pay attention to it. Anyway, we went to the vet with Norman when he had his feet thing going on, and we're standing there talking with the vet, and it was a pretty laid back vet. Like the dude barely even touched Norman's foot. Like Norman was not cooperating. He doesn't like anybody touching his feet. So I wasn't surprised that he didn't get a good look at it. Corey had a video of it, so she showed him the video. And he's looking at it and he's like, yeah, da 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 da. And I'll prescribe you and you should probably, we'll get you some antibiotics, and you should give him some Benadryl because that's an antihistamine, to get rid of the histamines. And I'm like, wait, what? Histamines? We're getting rid of the histamines, okay? All right, cool. Thanks for that in-depth definition, or in-depth explanation of what fucking Benadryl does. I appreciate it. Oh, fucking yeah. So I got rid of my histamines, made my face feel better, and we'll be doing that for the time being here in Tennessee with all this pollen popping. And actually, I haven't taken any. You kind of acclimate to it. It is a little. Some days are some days are a little worse than other. Pips down with the histamines. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So right now, streaming over on the vertical feed, the shorts feed there. That's working okay. I've been getting a little bit of steam over there every now and again. I'm trying to get up Noster. My computer did one of those awesome, hey, we're going to restart today in the middle of the day randomly. I just walked in. I did some stuff on the computer. I walked outside. I did some stuff outside. I came back in and my computer was at the lock screen. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. Guess it just decided to restart on its own. Fuck you, Windows. Getting closer to Linux. Just I at some point I'm gonna have to do it just because of the stress and anxiety that Windows causes me sometimes. Hunter, good morning, Hunter, over on Twitch. I appreciate it. Rewilder Life, stinging nettles. We had a ton of stinging nettles on the farm accidentally. But the nice part is stinging nettles like really fertile soil, from what I understand. So it's one of those things. It's one of those things where you, from what I understand, that you work to build your soil up, and then you get stinging nettles in it. Awesome. they're it's just they were in my strawberries. That was the problem. It was like a strawberry raised bed with just layered with stinging nettles. Rewilder Life says they're amazing, so good for you, and they're good for your soil and the animals. Except they're not good for me when I jam my arms into them to grab strawberries, and because I thought they were strawberry leaves. I don't know if I thought they were strawberry leaves, but they were infested in our strawberry raised bed, and yeah. Yeah. Eventually it was just a nettles bed with strawberries in it that the birds usually got because we didn't go pick them because you couldn't get your arms in there. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway. Corey, she popped out yesterday from her office and says, Rewilder Life says, oh, hot tip. This is worth the price of admission this morning. Hot tip. Don't rub the stinging nettles once it stings. I mean, I guess that's like anything. The more you irritate it, the more it itches, the more it stings, the more it welts up, the more it disperses the whatever is stinging, whatever is irritating. Just like a mosquito bite, if you can get through the initial itch and don't break it open and spread that shit around, it doesn't last as long. Is that kind of the same theory? Anyway, Corey came out yesterday and she's told me that we have eggs. How you like that? The boys that commented early kind of ruined that surprise. But anyway, we are officially. Oh, I guess that would make us. Well, I was gonna say, does that make us official snail farmers, or do they actually have to hatch before we have in-house snails that we've reared completely on our own? Well, not on our own. Corey didn't lay the eggs. Oh, all right. Rewilder Life says I rubbed it and it stung for hours. Apparently if you don't, it goes away much quicker. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for sure. um, yeah. So one of our snails, and we're not even sure who the mommy daddy's going to be. But yeah, mommy daddy, because they are hermaphrodites. So I'm not going to mislabel their gender. I might as well just roll with both. But somebody laid some eggs. I'm going to pop up the picture here if you're watching the video feed on the full feed. I was looking at them. They're pretty interesting. They almost in this picture, and I asked Corey this morning if it was the light of the video or the still shot, but they look almost glow in the dark. They look like a glow stick. Mike's Homestead's wondering if we're selling caviar. Really, they do sell the snail eggs. Um, they sell the snail eggs to eat. Um, you can also crush them up and feed them back to the snails for calcium content. And yeah, so if we have enough adult snails and if we have enough adult snails and they're laying eggs constantly, because this, from what I can tell, this is a small batch, but I can't tell what's underneath. Like, this might be just the top of the pile. They might have dug down and like laid them as they came out of a little crevice. And these are just like the top. But I counted like 18 that I could see distinguished in that picture. I zoomed in. So there might be more underneath, because they're known to lay up to, I think it was 80 to 100 eggs per round. So either this is an early, a juvenile, like a younger one that hasn't peaked in its egg production, or there's a bunch in a sack underneath, which is not uncommon, from what the pictures I've seen. Rewilder Life was wondering how long they incubate. 1 to 5 weeks, pretty narrow window there, 1 to 5 weeks, depending on environment, temperature, moisture, all sorts of fun stuff. So 1 to 5 weeks. So we could have snail babies next week, or next week, maybe 5 weeks from now. So who knows? It is kind of warm in the camper as of now. We have yet to turn the air conditioning on, knock on wood. So it's staying warmer in here. So I'm hoping that that's on the lower end. But I didn't really find a temperature range. It just said depending on temperature and environment and a host of other factors. So 1 to 5 weeks. Let's call it 3 or 2. We'll find out. We'll keep an eye on them. We know that they were laid. So yesterday was Wednesday. When did you pick that up? Like Tuesday morning to Wednesday morning? So it would have been yesterday morning they picked it up, or they laid? Okay. So overnight Tuesday or into Wednesday morning, they were laid. So we got a pretty good narrow window. Corey is always checking throughout the terrarium, looking for the snails, making sure they're okay. And so that was a new thing. So we have it kind of pinned down to a day. Hunter was wondering how big they are. What would you say? What size would you compare those little things to? That's what I was trying to figure out. Yeah, Corey says maybe the I wouldn't say maybe the opening of a ballpoint pen. Like the opening of a ballpoint pen. Hunter says start with a BB. I would say they're probably be the size of a regular BB. Yeah, just a normal like Daisy Red Rider, BB that size, probably about that. I would say. Um, I don't think if I zoom back in the picture, if there's any size reference on there. Let me see. No, there was nothing else in the picture that I can size reference, but yeah, they're probably about the size of a BB. Good call, Hunter. I didn't think of anything else really tiny and small. Kyle wasn't around to throw out suggestions, but yeah, it's pretty cool. We're excited, so that Yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. At some point, yeah, Hunter says, wow. Okay, here's the deal. I was surprised how big they were for the size of the snail. Like, I don't know where they all were. You have to think that egg sac is bigger than the snail itself, isn't it? Corey doesn't think that the biggest one laid them. Um, and she thinks that the egg sac is also probably bigger. The like pile of eggs is probably bigger than the snail itself. Um, so if it wasn't the biggest snail, they definitely the pile of eggs is bigger than the snail. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's a new adventure for sure. So this has prompted me to try to figure out more. Mike says, Homestead says, yeah, where would 80, 100 be? Yeah, I don't know. I like this is it's fascinating. I don't know if they just stay there and produce them one at a time, or there's like little egg factory going on where they pop out and then they like the egg is maybe on the inside and then they form that sac around it. I'm gonna have to look into it. I'm gonna have to dive more into to snail egg production and the life cycles of snails. When you do general searches, like they don't really tell you the birds and the bees of the snails, the snail reproductive system. I guess I got something else I have to learn. This has though prompted me. Wait. Hunter says the egg should be squishy soft, the harden. I think he might have gotten in a fender bender, then harden. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So they're probably small. They probably form that sac around them as they hatch, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That's definitely on the list of research because I got to know about them if we're going to raise them. But this has really stimulated the brain rolling on the tiny armored one's camera, the 24/7 camera on the snails. When we move them into the new terrarium, it threw me for a loop because the new terrarium is in that the generic dollar store tote, and the sides are like cloudy. It's not clear like not clear like our terrarium that we bought that was too small, and the lid is solid blue or something like that, and we cut a hole in it, put screen, but there's no real good place to have the camera set up outside the terrarium and run a 24/7 feed. So Mike's Homestead says a hatch cam. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know if we want to move the eggs. I think I want to leave these eggs set for sure and let them go through their whole cycle. A lot of people will remove the eggs because when they're raising snails, they don't want more. They just want the ones they have. So they'll just remove the eggs. Like I said, they'll crush them up and feed them back to them. Or you can transfer them. If you can scoop the eggs out without damaging them, you can put them in another place. So I kind of want to let these ones roll without touching them just to get the experience of having them hatch. But I would definitely consider moving a next round of eggs into the terrarium, and which I could easily set up a camera with the terrarium because it's got clear sides. The one we have now, we would have to set it up inside the terrarium, and I don't think logistically that works real well. Corey's constantly getting in there. She's having to change the food dish and refresh the water, spritz them down with water, spray bottle, and I don't know how well it would work. So that's something that's something that's kicking around in the back of my head, how to set that up, how to get a live feed of the tiny armored ones, and the hatch cam would be really cool. It would be really, really cool to have live snails hatching on camera. So maybe if I can be prepared and have the logistical side set up, the internet side set up, if Corey sees the snails hatching, we could quickly go live on it. But I would like I mean, so I think in the end, what I was thinking is we'll end up taking, man, I gotta take a sip. I can't just hold this thing here. I think at the end, we'll take like our 2 star snails, maybe, or maybe we'll rotate them through, but we'll have a setup where a couple snails and eggs and whatever are on the snail cam. On the tiny armored one, snail cam. And yeah, have that as a separate thing going on, and then have production in a bigger, more generic tote. So that's kind of the plans at the moment, but figuring it out is a different feat. So, like Pickle Pete said when I mentioned it before, we're really going to test that unlimited data clause on the Starlink. So my federal agent must have a blast with all my search history. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that it would be wise to tell you all the open tabs I have on my phone and my computer right now. Like, we could fill the rest of the show. I think when my computer restarts, it takes like 7 minutes for all the tabs to open on all the browsers between Chrome. Let's see, right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Chrome browsers open, and each of those have dozens of tabs, just different browsers for different things I'm working on. And then Brave has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then some other shit open too. So yeah. wonder why you can pick up that the humming of my laptop when things get rolling here. Anyway, we're getting kind of glitchy. Laptop, talking about the laptop, how much it's straining, and it's like, yeah, screw you, it sucks. Yeah, so that's the snails. That's exciting. That is definitely a step in the right direction. One thing I want to mention before I forgot, I didn't put it on the list this morning, but next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, not the 18th, the 25th, May 25th, Corey and I will be putting in an Atwood rope order for paracord. We will be making we need another leash. Actually, I think we're going to end up with 2 more, maybe 1 more. I can't remember. But we're going to be putting an order in for some paracord. If you want, Canadian Farmstead says, I'm here for the snail doorbell. Well, I don't know if I have the technological capabilities to set up the snail doorbell. But I can set up a zap button. I know that. Zap to help feed the snails. We'll be putting in an Atwood order for paracord, so we wanted to extend that out to anybody that listens. I'll be posting it in the Telegram group, but basically Telegram group and audio listeners, if you're interested in a custom dog leash, you can message me. You can pick your colors. You can go to the Atwood site, pick your colors. We will order the materials along with ours. We will also do batch bulk keychain orders. You can order 5 keychains and pick your colors. You can order more than 5 in multiples of 5. You can order that and pick your own colors, anything from Atwood you want, and we will put that in with our order and as soon as we get the material in, we will fabricate them up and mail them out to you. Yeah, contact me at info@thelotsproject.com. Send me a message on Telegram or anywhere you want, and we'll work out the details. And yeah, so I wanted to mention that. I will be mentioning it more next week. It'll be in the show notes and everything. But as of right now, Corey and I were just talking about it after I had most of the stuff set up for today. So I just wanted to throw it out there. So if you're interested in a custom dog lead, base model is going to be about 4 to 5 feet with a loop handle on one end and a clasp for hooking it to your dog collar on the other. Then we can add in upgrades as far as secondary handles, rings to clip your poop bags or whatever else you want to clip onto the lead, anything you want. When we're building it from scratch, we can design it for anywhere you want. It'll just be a matter of cost at that point. So I think thousands is legitimate. Maybe hundreds of colors available at atwoodrope.com. Link is in the video description. If you're just looking to pick up some paracord, microcord, rope, anything paracord accessories, the place has got a ton of stuff, and you get a discount if you use the link down in the video description. I earn a little commission on it. Atwood is fantastic. I've been happy with their shipping and their products, and nothing bad to say about them. Prices are reasonable, and with the discount code you get with that link, it makes it all the better. So check it out. And if you're interested in bulk order keychains or dog leashes, let me know. Reach me anywhere. What else do I have here on the list for today? Put in an order yesterday. So I've been using Fold quite a bit more lately. Once I realized I had gotten away from it, when we changed spending habits as this adventure went on, I kind of went away from it a little bit. It just wasn't in the forefront of what we were doing. But now that we've kind of settled in, we have a plan. We have direction. We're not taking off anymore. We're kind of set where we're shopping and what we're doing. It was time to sit down and look at Fold again. Not again. I was still using it, but just not as effectively as I was. I decided to focus on that and do what I could, because since that I buy groceries at Kroger every week, I am going to be ordering stuff on Amazon. I'm going to be buying things from Lowe's, and all three of those companies are gift card providers on Fold. I think Kroger, you get like 4% back. Lowe's, you get 4.5% back. Amazon, you get 2.5% back in Bitcoin. So really dove in, really being intentional about using it as much as I can. And so Corey and I decided this weekend, when we picked our spot, and even before we picked our spot, that the first thing that we're going to put up there is a I guess it'd be pop-up garage. The soft-sided tarp material 12 by 20 garage pipe frame. And we're going to put a temporary floor in it, and we are going to be collecting some rainwater. So I put together a order list on Amazon, ordered up. Pickle P says 1 thumbs up, smash it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, hit it, hit the thumbs up. So I put together an order. Jamie at Off Grid Ping has a couple of the pop-up canvas type garage, and so I was looking at those. I asked him what he thought about them. I asked him how they've lasted and which one has he got. And so I went to Amazon. I found them. I think they're like $350, which is not a horrible thing. And so we grabbed that 12 by 20. It would be great for storing materials, as we're going to be carrying materials up. I'm guessing that with having to transport the materials into the site, it's not going to be a matter of bringing it in and using it right away. I think we're going to have transport days and building days. The weather here is kind of rough, so we wanted someplace to get the stuff out of the weather. We also wanted someplace to get our truck stuff out of the weather and out of the bed of the truck, so we can use the back of the truck for transporting material. So we thought that was a good solution. kind of a dry dock for all our stuff, a place to get it out of the weather, and just easy to put up, easy to transport. If we want to take it down and move it, we can. If we want to get a few guys around and pick it up and move it, we can. And we can tie it down to the trees. And then one thing we were thinking about was that the floor is open. So we're not like on gravel, we're not on dirt, we're up in the jungle of the raw woods. And so we were trying to figure out, Pickle Piece has pinned that thing down. Actually, I'm pretty sure we have a spot that it can tie directly to rooted trees, and stakes. And yeah, it's definitely going to be secure. Jamie told us that he's had his roll a couple times. So not lately. Once he tied it down securely, it's been good. But it also was tough enough to survive a couple flip overs. So that's reassuring. Don't want that to happen, but if it does, we have a pretty good place to secure it down in the woods where we're going to be at. So, Pickle Pete says cardboard floor will rot away and make compost. Nope. We're not going to do cardboard floor. We have had really good luck with a product that we picked up for traveling. We have watched what has happened underneath it. We have interacted with it quite a bit, but we found that the fold up camping rugs work phenomenal. The fold up camping rugs that we have, that we set out next to the camper where we come in and out, they decimate anything under it, like legit decimate anything under it. You pick it up and it's bare earth, so no weeds. They hold up really well. They're comfortable on your feet. They are tough. We've put stakes through them, and I don't want to say they're self-healing, but they don't just start to fray and unravel if you put a stake through it, even through the non-loopholes. Like if they get a hole in them, they don't really completely unweave or things like that. So they make these in 9. Okay, so it was 12. They make them in 12 foot by 9 foot was the size I could get that was going to work the best. So we ordered 2 9 by 12s. So basically we're either going to sacrifice the first 2 feet or a foot on either end, and that's going to be grass, or we'll have to maintain that, but the rest will be covered. Pickle Pete said carpet. No, it's not carpet, really. They are they're like a woven poly. It's like a woven poly rug. Yeah, I'll get a link. I'll put a link up in the Telegram group at some point. Since you're asking, you'll be in the Telegram group. You'll see it. But it's yeah, they're like poly rugs. They're super lightweight, easy to transport up to the site. They fold up into a nice square. We bought them because they are light and easy to transport and easy to pop out and fold out for putting next to the camper. And Pete says they're woven poly that'll last a while. The ones we've had since we put them out when we came to Seattle. So there's that. We had those when we went to Seattle, right, Corey? Oh yeah. So that's how long they've lasted. When we came to Squatch Fest, we put those out. Pickle Pete's wondering how long till barefoot land. It'll be a while. I'm guessing we're going to be focusing on a little pieces of barefoot land at a time. Once we get the footprint of the house, we'll start around the house and go from there. We'll slowly work our way out. I'm going to work with Carrie and see if there's some interesting ground cover that we can transition to that'll be barefoot friendly. And we'll see. We'll see. It really depends on what we find when we peel back the jungle, and what's there. We'll see. We'll see. It won't be long. It will be long till we're barefoot completely in the general area, I think, but we'll have a spot pretty quick. We'll definitely have a spot. We missed that. We missed that for sure. Texas for the barefoot, other than the once I figured out the fire ant situation, that was fantastic. Being able to take the dogs on barefoot walks every morning down the path, the sand path, and things like that. We'll just get there. We'll get there, and it is definitely a prime focus of at least getting a spot to go and stand barefoot. If not, be able to traverse around all of our zone one barefoot. That would be the end goal. The end goal, I don't think we're ever going to be barefoot on the property completely, unless like our feet are, yeah, maybe after years and years and years of being barefoot in zone one and then zone 1 and 2, we'll be able to traverse the whole property barefoot. But I think ideal and reasonable goal would be able to be barefoot in zone 1. So that's Mike's Homestead said no such thing as barefoot land. Bullshit, there isn't. Well, I can make it. um I can make zone 1 barefoot, Mike. Pickle Beast says a large box. I don't know. We'll make it happen. I'm not Rewildlife says you gotta toughen up feet first. Mine are pretty good. They're not the best. As they're not as good as they were when we were in Texas. But I do try to stay barefoot quite a bit around the camper, as much as possible. And I try to get out on the gravel driveway and back and forth to my urinal, that's over away from the camper across the driveway. So when I go out, I don't put shoes on to go do that. So walking across that gravel driveway definitely has kept the feet a little tough. Mike says carpet hurts yours. Yeah, I walk on the gravel driveway, dude. Take your shoes off every once in a while. You'll be all right. Start small. Corey will tell you when I started doing barefoot. When I started doing barefoot, I would like tiptoe down the side of the road, the dirt road at our house, at our place in Minnesota. It 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 was interesting. It was a long process, but now I can walk on the gravel driveway, not effortlessly. I have to pay attention. I have to think about it, and I have to be intentional with my steps. I can't be like walking a dog or paying attention to anything else. I have to focus on what I'm doing. But I can get across the gravel driveway pretty easy. At least going the short way, traversing it, across it, walking down it. I've I've messed around with it a little bit, just to keep up with it somewhat, not try to lose all the work I put into it. But when I started, I was in rough shape. It tickled, it hurt, it was everything under the sun, until I did it for a little bit. And then I was walking right next to her. And then I was walking the dogs barefoot in the sand. And Rewild Life says, but if you're looking for the grounding, you don't need to walk, you can just stand. Absolutely, absolutely. But I do feel like, so another barefoot thing. So that's the thing with it. It's got so many different side effects. benefits, in my opinion. But the grounding is one of them where she's definitely correct. You can just stand there. Like legit, you can just get a grounding blanket to sleep with that runs a cord out, and you pound the ground stake outside your window. Excuse me. You can stand. You can yeah, it's more contact with the earth. Like legitimately, I'm pretty sure you could ground by standing doing a handstand for the same amount of time. It doesn't necessarily have to be through your feet. Um, but the barefoot part of it, the walking barefoot, Rewilder Life says barefoot walking has changed foot and knee issues. Yes. It definitely adjusts your gait. It changes it changed my knees. It changed my ankles didn't hurt as much. It changes your posture. It the acupressure. So acupressure points on your foot are the real deal. Like I have definitely walked on gravel, and so gravel has the different points, the different pokies, and so you're walking along and the pressure is hitting on the different parts of the bottom of your feet. There's been legitimate times where I can walk and I can feel my trapezius. Is that trapezius muscle? Is that what it's called, Corey? The the muscle up here by your neck and your shoulders. Like I can feel different muscles in my body tingling as I'm stepping on different rocks. As the pressure points at the bottom of my feet are being touched by the rocks with my fat ass pushing down on my feet on them, I can feel the tension releasing out of different muscles. Corey walked barefoot, and it was one of the few things that has actually given her a little relief in her shoulder. Um, yeah, it's amazing as far as getting out of the shoes, getting your feet out, um, letting your feet, your toes, everything actually spread out, getting that pressure, hitting those pressure points on the bottom of your feet. So I miss it. I definitely miss it. Hunter says, how long? How long until you see the benefits, or how long until you can actually stand on gravel? um, how long until you see the benefits? You legitimately, even if you can't stand to do it, if you can stand to do it for 20 seconds, you can go stand out like on on a little gravel patch and like really gingerly get yourself onto it and then just get comfortable standing in one spot and kind of move your weight around. You can feel the tingling in different muscles in your body. It's crazy. Like it sounds wackadoodle to talk about, um, until you legitimately experience. Hunter says, how long does it take for the grounding beat? You like 30 seconds a day. The longer the better. I mean, really, if you want to go out and do a little like 5-minute meditation while standing barefoot on a patch of grass, on a patch of soil or whatever. Um Rewilder Life says, oh gosh, I still can't run on gravel like when I was a kid, and I've been mostly barefoot for several years. Yeah, I'm not saying like I can't run on gravel. No way. No way. I'm very gingerly tiptoeing across the gravel. Um, Pickle P says, how about you count your breaths? Start with 10. Yep, pretty much. Pickle Pete says Chicken Joe's getting mad at all her stones. Pickle Pete says, yeah, add some stretching if you're bored. Mike's Homestead says, I sleep on a grounding pad every night. I'll say that I've been sleeping much better since starting. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, for sure. Rewiler Life says I need to see if there are Great Lakes crystals. There are some really cool there are some really cool rocks in Superior on the shores of Superior. Are you on Superior or are you on Michigan? I want to say you're probably on Lake Michigan or close. Superior has these really interesting glowing rocks that when Corey and I were learning about agates and things, that they popped up quite a bit because we were up in that area. But Superior has these really cool glowing, and I don't think they're radioactive or anything, but you can find them with a black light at night. It's pretty cool. These guys would go hunt them. Box agates, yeah. The Great Lakes agates are pretty crazy. Oh God. Big ol' Pete says, can you take a 3-prong plug, rip out the 2 blades, and just plug a wire ground loop into the wall to sleep on? Um, mm, 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 um, nah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to wrestle with that in my head here live on I don't know. I don't know. Hunter says my house isn't grounded, I don't think. Do you have 3 plugs? Do you have 3 plugs? If you have 3 plugs, open up an outlet and see if they tied the ground plug to anything. If you have 3 wires coming into the back of your outlets, you have grounded. If you maybe, oh, you don't have 3 plugs? Yeah, no ground. You got to have the 3rd plug to make the ground. But then there's all sorts of, so the ground plug should be grounded as easy as a rod in the backyard and a wire out your window. Yeah, no. Yeah, and no. House electrical, like, because your neutral is usually bonded to your ground at the box. So, in order for electricity to flow, you have to have two you have to have a loop. I think. Code says what, 18-foot drive for an earth ground? I don't think it might be that deep in Texas. It wasn't that deep in Minnesota. Not 18. Oh, okay. Rewilder Life says he's talking about a homemade grounding mat out the window. I've seen folks do that. Yeah, there's all sorts of homemade stuff out there. I think the easiest homemade thing is to take your shoes off and go outside for a minute. Neutral bond boom. Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen. Pickle Pete's 3-foot. Yeah, that was more Minnesota. Texas, 18 foot sounds a little ridiculous to me. But it is quite dry there. It is quite dry. Um, unless you have 3 feet of snow, a map gas torch and a shovel works great. For frozen ground, you basically can, or a heating pad. If you get the snow away and you have a cleared area, you can just just keep the top thawed. All right. Well, Hunter says, "How about a tray of dirt?" I don't know if that works that way. I think you actually have to have more than a tray worth. Um, Jesus. So the garage is on the way. That's supposed to be here next week. I also picked up a company. I was browsing the Amazon listings where I find the companies that I request samples from. I've been requesting less because I've actually had companies reaching out to me um consistently. But I was browsing through because I kind of had a lull in my product flow, and I shut things down when I had to transfer from the post office to a new address and this and that. Anyway, last week I was kind of browsing the companies to reach out to, and I saw this one, and it was like, oh, this is perfect. For this would be perfect for the property. And it was a little garden shed, an 10 by 12 garden shed with windows and vents and double door. It had okay ratings. It was a 3-star out of 5-star, but it seemed like the reviews people are mainly complaining about it was hard to put together. Um, it's probably like IKEA directions, Chinese directions. I don't know. Most of the people said that the bolt holes were pretty precision cut. They all lined up. They didn't have any problems. Some people said they were missing a couple pieces here and there, but the company was great about getting them sent out to them. So I reached out and I was like, hey, I'd be interested in doing some content about this garden shed. Um, would you mind sending me one out? And they wrote back and they said, "Well, yeah, we would be interested. Could you confirm that you have enough room to put one up?" And I mean, I get it. I'm sure that they interact with people in apartments, in suburban lots, in urban lots, in country, like everywhere. And I was like, yeah, I actually have room to put several dozen of them up, depending however many you want to send. Go ahead. And so that's cool. I got confirmation yesterday. I got the garden shed on the way, a metal garden shed. So yeah, yeah. This Amazon thing might not be as it's multifaceted for sure. So that's exciting. A nice another little hard sided storage shed for the property. John Palmer, good morning and good day to you. Thanks for stopping in. And then lastly, let's hit it a little bit. It's not a huge in depth. I think I've talked about it prior, but Mona says exciting. Yeah, it is exciting. I'm Corey and I are so excited to get that shell the cabin shell up and to move out there and really make it our own. Pickle Pete says, let's paint it up to be the time tunnel. We could have a time travel shed part 2 right there in Tennessee. Anyway, last thing on my list is Corey and I were talking about it yesterday, and we've yet to figure it out. But the Tennessee business owners, man, the businesses here in Tennessee, I don't get it. They're they're never open. They're never open. They have weird hours. The restaurants in particular is what Corey and I started talking about. They're open 5 days a week. I didn't know that the restaurant business was a 5 day a week thing. Now, um, the the Mexican restaurant in town is open 7 days a week. I think I'm imagine if you get more into the cities. Have a good day, Rachel. Thanks for stopping. I appreciate it. I think when you get to the cities, they're probably open more consistently, but rurally here, it really feels like everything is open 5 days a week. And it would make sense 6 days a week would make sense to me in this area. Bible Belt, churchgoers, whatever, day of rest, Sunday's closed. Mona says it's 6 days there, Monday's closed. I would think the religious folk would be all in on a Sunday closure for restaurants. But no, the majority of them that I find are closed Monday and Tuesday. Now, I was in the restaurant business long enough that I understand Mondays and Tuesdays are slow. Mondays and Tuesdays were normally your slowest days. But that being said, you know what's packed every Monday and Tuesday? The Mexican place in town, because they're open. When I talk to business owners, like I've talked to more than a handful of restaurant owners in this general area, for different reasons. Not necessarily talking to them about their business, just talking to them in general and finding out all just randomly, and they say well, I don't have any business. It's really cool. It's I just it's slow, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stay open. I was like, be open then. You have to be open for customers to come. When you're not open on the days that everybody else isn't open, like if you got to have days off, and I asked that in a Facebook post. There was a restaurant that we like to go to, and Tim had been there, and Tim and Becky were leaving, and we were going to get together for dinner on a Tuesday night, and the place was closed on Tuesday. And I asked in the Facebook post, I said, well, are you closed on Monday and Tuesday still? Because I would really like to come here with my friend before he leaves again. And he's like, no, we're closed Mondays and Tuesdays. And I'm like, really? Why? The restaurant in town, it's not a restaurant. It's a like a little snack shop thing. This guy is legitimately open twice a month for 2 days. He's open. He might go to every weekend in the summer. I don't know. But he's open like he was closed all winter. Now he's open like every other weekend. Friday and Saturday. Maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe Saturday, Sunday. I don't even know. It changes constantly. Like to build, and then they're like, no, come in. You got to come in. You got to come in and see us. You got to buy food and help support local businesses. I would love to support local businesses if they were open. I don't understand the mentality. The pizza place in Savannah, this dude legitimately is never open. I don't know how he makes it work. He's got no employees. It's just him, it seems like. But he's open when he wants to be. And I saw somebody post in one of the local Telegram groups and asked if he was still open. Like, is this pizza place still open? And somebody replied, he says, yeah, he hasn't been open in like 2 or 3 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks. He's just been busy doing other things. Pickle Pete says Monday and Tuesdays are the 2 worst days in the restaurant business. I understand that. And if you can choose not to be open on a day when you know your operating expenses will be more than your revenue, then you don't open those days. I understand that. But when everybody closes on the same days and there's nothing open, there is a wide open fucking opportunity for people that are complaining they don't have enough customers to open those days and say, hey, guess what? We're open on Monday and Tuesday. And we're closed on Wednesday and Thursday. Like everybody else is open. You can go to those restaurants, but you know what? When they're all fucking closed, we're open. But the other part is in Minnesota, everybody was open every day. And if it's down to one person, it is what it is. The excuse that somebody put, so I asked the owner when I was talking on that Facebook group to see if it was open so Tim and Becky and Corey and I could go eat on a Tuesday. on a Tuesday night. I asked, I said, okay, so why are you closed on Tuesday? I get it. Like everybody seems to be closed. Why wouldn't you want to be open? And somebody, not the owner didn't reply. A customer wrote back and said, Pickle Pete says, but then the people get used to you not being open. Right. This guy says, a customer says, they need to have time to rest. They can't be working 7 days a week. They need to give their employees time off. Do they only have 4 employees? Pickle Pete says it'll bankrupt you faster. But I have a question. The one restaurant that's open on Mondays and Tuesdays, the one restaurant that's open on Mondays and Tuesdays is overflowing. They're doing just fine. I think it might be a monkey see, monkey do thing. I don't know. I've talked to many people here that are like, yeah, there's no place to go eat on Mondays. There's no place to go eat on Tuesdays. You know what has a big line on Mondays and Tuesdays? The food trucks. Hunter says MS-13 has that town on lock. High cash restaurants for laundering. Nah. John Palmer says maybe they can't get any more people to work. Maybe. I'm just saying. There's a pretty nice opportunity. There's a restaurant across the street for $150,000 all in, restaurant building, 2 buildings, property, everything in it. Open on Monday and Tuesdays. I got a project going on. It's not my deal. I can't do it. I have no interest in doing it, but I don't know. There's nothing open on Mondays and Tuesdays here. I don't know. It's just something we've noticed. And it's not necessarily just the restaurants. It feels like a lot of the other businesses aren't really open. They're just not open. Pickle P says, and notice nobody's jumping to buy. Well, I think there's a big reason nobody's jumping to buy. It could be all the pending lawsuits of the last owner and the shit they have to deal with across the street. There is a large contingency that are trying to get them to open back up. The general business acclimate around here is basically we're closed. Oh, anyway, 108 hour 8 minutes. We are wrapping up here. We're gonna pass it off to Pickle Pete over at the Food Forest Farms YouTube channel and let him roll for a while. I just want some places to be open so I can support the local economy and be out on more than just 5 days a week if I want to be. I want to have an option if I don't want to cook on Mondays or Tuesdays and don't necessarily want Mexican again. Pickle P says they're fronts. Yeah, I mean, I get it. But why? You can put up a lot of different fronts. You can put up a lot of different fronts than a half-assed business. So anyway, we're gonna wrap it up. Today. We'll reach back tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be episode 700. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't think I can do a full on preacher set for an hour. That's for sure. But we'll see. Episode 100. Pickle P says easier to hide in the food waste. There's no food. Like I was talking, there's businesses that run the gamut that are just not open ever. I mean, they're open randomly. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's something that I didn't see anywhere else while I was traveling, really. Not as consistently as here. But anyway, let's wrap it up. Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's Friday, episode 700, rolling in on that. But today I appreciate everyone listening. If you enjoyed the show, it's always free to hit that like, share, and subscribe. To return value for value, please consider joining one of the YouTube membership tiers or listening on a value for value platform like Podverse or Fountain.fm. You can also catch me over on Noster. You can visit thelostproject.com or comfreyroots.com for more information about me. Find products, recommended products, companies, partner companies, discount codes, all that. You can order your Comfrey Roots at comfreyroots.com. Enjoy your Thursday, guys. All you got to do is plow through the day, get through the end of the day here, and we will be on to Friday, and Friday is Friday. Let's have a great day, guys, and I will catch up with you tomorrow.
I can feel the sun.